We should talk about all the football. We already have earlier this episode a little bit, but the Lions just blow a game they shouldn't. Michigan State gets blown out, and I can't believe I didn't see that coming. We could even go beyond that and maybe talk some other sad football things here as well. But you want to start with your Lions? Was this the same old Lions, or what the hell happened? Why did we just lose at home to Seattle?
I don't think it's the same old Lions. I'm not saying that, but I want to get my thoughts together for my main takeaways for this. I think I'll start with this. There's a difference between being aggressive and playing Madden. I think Dan Campbell needs to take a step back and understand that he's putting his team in a shitty position sometimes with his aggressiveness. That's all I'll say. I know that the defense wasn't playing extremely well, but you're going for it on your own 40. You're doing things like that. But I don't think that's the main thing for the Lions. You can't turn the ball over 3 times and expect to win a football game. Like, that's really, really hard to do. We have a chance to go up probably 1 to 2 scores. We were up 1 score. We could be up 2 scores starting off the second half, and we fumble on the very first carry. Like, you just can't do that and give the Seahawks a 20-yard field to go score and tie the game immediately. Just too many mistakes. Obviously, Jared Goff finally throws a pick, and of course, the pick he throws is a pick 6. Just really, really tough scene. And then the last thing I'll say is the aggressiveness seemed to tame itself on that last drive a little bit. It seemed like we were aggressive the whole game, going for it on 4th down and doing all these things. And then we get down inside the 30 with like 50 seconds left, and we just let 20 seconds run off as we set up and kind of basically settle for the field goal when I think we could have gone for a touchdown a couple times in that possession. So it was tough to see. You can't turn the ball over that many times. Jerry Jacobs can't guard his own shadow. I need Emmanuel Mosley to get off of the IR or injured reserve, whatever list he's on, immediately, because this team really needs him. And then last thing is the pass rush needs to step up. Like, they need to step up. The fact that Geno Smith was playing with 2 backup tackles and wasn't sacked, or he was sacked once, I think, at the end of the game by Anzalone when he was scrambling around like a jackass. But besides that, just no pressure. And so tough game. Not the end of the world. We're 1-1. Not the same old Lions. Must win next week, but definitely sad to see, for sure.
So definitely not the same old Lions is my primary takeaway. I've seen a lot of like, ooh, the ski mask shit is dead. We never should have done that. Why were we so cocky about that shit? A couple of things from my end, because I'm a vibes guy. Before I actually talk the football, I just want to talk about the vibes here. It's not the same old Lions primarily because if it was the same old Lions, when has an opposing team ever beaten Detroit in Detroit and celebrated like they won a playoff game?
Facts.
It's week 2, and these motherfuckers are turning up in the locker room, like talking about, we came in your trap and took your trap. Like, okay, we're here. That's what that told me. Like, we are now a statement victory. And I get the ski mask shit was cocky and it came back to bite us, obviously, but like, I'm not throwing that in the trash after this at all. If we win week 3,
and good on the Seahawks for doing that.
Yeah, that was cold.
That's what they should do.
We need more of that. I thought that was cool. I thought it was cold. I'm not a fan who's like, no, throw it in. Like, it would be same old Lions move to be like, oh no, like, we don't stand by this. We lied. We're not that good. Like, no, we are that good. Y'all just beat us. You're celebrating us because we're that good. And when we win in week 3, we're putting the ski mask back on. That's where I am right now. Goff threw the pick 6. Like, to me, that was the game. And I am a Jared Goff guy. I'm not like I don't think he's a great quarterback or anything, but he has won me over with his play over the last year and a half in Detroit. What do you have? Like 400 straight passes without an interception? Like, bummer. He threw one. It was a bad one. It cost us a game. That usually it happens when you throw a pick 6. Luckily, we have a quarterback who does that once in every 2 years instead of once a week, like a lot of teams looking at some in the NFC North do. I just think Campbell does have to realize that he has to coach a team that's actually good different than he's coached teams that aren't. It's a totally different job to manage a football game when you're the better team than it is to try and go steal wins when you're the worst team. he's one of the best coaches in the league at trying to steal wins when you're the worst team. We know that. I don't know what he's like as a guy who's the coach of a better team. I think he did a lot of shit that hurt us in this game. I really do. I wish he would just punt the ball, man. I'm sorry. Like it's fun when we get the fourth downs. It really is. I wish he would kick field goals, and I wish he would punt the ball. I think he cost the team roughly 9 to 12 points every single game off of just not doing the traditional move. And all we needed was a 3-point swing in this game to win in regulation. And I think Dan cost him at least a touchdown in this game. So I don't know, man. I still feel good. They got to win week 3. It's frustrating that they should have had like clear separation in the division now. Yeah. Like, shout out to the Packers for blowing that game, but man, we should be sitting pretty at 2-0. Must win in week 3, in my opinion. And I texted you this. I'm pretty frustrated with the selection of the running back we took at the spot we took him and the lack of usage. And I get it's early in his career, but I am really frustrated with that. What do you make of Jahmyr Gibbs right now?
Yeah, I'm very frustrated with it. Just if you're going to draft him there, get him touches. Like, what's the point of doing it if you're going to have Craig Reynolds almost out carry him? Like, what are we doing here?
I get there's contract stuff involved, so this isn't a 1-for-1 at all, but it was really hard for me this week to watch DeAndre Swift put up like 150 total yards. And then our running back is, and I'm not saying Swift is good. That's not what I'm saying. Don't shake your head. I'm not even saying he's good.
I'm saying, Greg, I actually would put a bet plus 170 that you could get 62 yards against the Vikings defense.
But the point is, running backs don't matter. The point isn't that Swift is good or bad. The point is, like, we said we don't need Swift. He's not good enough. We need a star at running back. Swift is out here busting up the Vikings. Meanwhile, the running back we elevated and said was a huge priority is not getting touches to Craig Reynolds and the guy who's on a cart who fumbled the first carry of the second half. Like, I'm really frustrated about it. I think it was a total wasted pick. You're going to use him like a slot receiver and he can't even catch the ball. So, and I know he can catch the ball, but like, if we're only going to use him as a slot receiver, don't drop the ball.
Hey, Jared Goff did that thing again this week too.
What'd he do?
Did you see the one where Jahmyr Gibbs was literally wide open by himself on the sideline?
Yeah.
It's just, those hurt.
Yeah, missed opportunity. All right, so let's just put a number on it. Confident scale, Detroit, 1 to 10. Where are you at right now? We were like 10 out of 10.
I'm still at an 8 with this football team.
I like that. That feels right.
Yeah, 8. This week will be a big swing for that. Just because going off recent memory, no matter what, we seem to just like kind of struggle with the Falcons. It just always seems to come down to the last play, no matter how good or how bad they are. So I think it's a must win in that game, especially with the Falcons coming off a pretty big win against the Packers. So it can, put some separation as well in the division and kind of put a stake in the ground as far as who's who of the NFC North.
Falcons are a 2-0 football team, and I have no idea how, because Desmond Ridder is horrendous.
Yeah. So, he's really tall, lanky Justin Fields.
It's messy stuff. Last thing, I see a lot of beat writers kind of doing like, where's the Lions pass rush game right now? I swear to God, Hutch is getting held every play. You call that homerism, whatever you want. I wasn't a Hutch guy out of Michigan. I really, truly wasn't. His pass rush is there. He's getting held every play.
Was that last one not absolutely, like, when it happened in the game? Let me walk y'all through this. Usually during Lions games, when it gets to a certain point, I hit my stand-up mode and I stand up kind of close to the TV. And when that play happened, I was like I was waiting for the flag to come out. He clearly got helped. Clear as day. It's all you need. It's plain and simple, cut and dry, hold. And they let it go, and Tyler Lockett scores, and they win the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird to me, but I'm very happy with how Hutch is playing. I genuinely think he's getting held 80% of the time. Very last final thing on the Lions. How much of this is our fault?
It's like 79% of it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. So I got to realize I can't operate like the Lions are different yet, even if they're different. I need to remember where we came from and realize that if we got to win in week 1 and I ordered Jets pizza and wings, etc. wings, and I had my father-in-law over and my daughter was asleep, those will be the circumstances the next time the Lions play a football game. I'll be damned if I switch anything up. Instead, I got my daughter in some Lions tutu that she doesn't even fit in right now, trying to act like some mojo's different. I got my wife leaving to go to her sister's with the entire family at halftime. We're going to switch up at halftime and go there. No, let's walk this back for a second. We know what worked. It worked against the best team in football. Who are we to think that we have the right to change that right now? So we'll be dialed in for week 3. That's where I'm at. And not to point fingers, but I can't believe you weren't at that game.
Well, I mean, I think you know the circumstances why I wasn't there.
I know, but
I got to be better.
I think we played a role. I think we played a role.
You're right. 100%. And for what it's worth, Luther was at the game. My father said absolutely loudest he's ever heard Ford Field. And he's been a Lions and he said the loudest Lions game he's ever been to, and he's been a season ticket holder since like 1998.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You could hear it through the TV. It was impressive.